Hello, this is GiBi for Lore Cattle Ranch, and today is November 1st, 2024, and that means it is the 6-year anniversary of the start of this channel. If you've been with me this whole time, which I know some of you have been, you know that I was doing weekly Chris Chan updates, reading through his tweets and trying to explain the nonsense that is the Dimensional Merge, and explaining Sonichu. If you're with me through the entire arrest saga, you know that I was covering Chris's letters from jail, you know that I tried to do retrospectives about what had happened that led up to this horrific event, and you know that it made me extremely jaded. You know that while Chris was in jail, there was a lack of Chris Chan content for a while, and so I spread my wings and I tried to go and do other things. Before covering Chris Chan, I actually had a series called The Absurds, in which I talked about, well, absurd topics, typically things that took place on the internet, and Chris was only one of those things. Chris became the most popular of those topics, which is why this entire channel became about Chris Chan content. Those classic videos I made, The Absurds, as well as the series I made after Chris was in jail, which was called Weak and Weird, but going forward will basically probably just be mini episodes of The Absurd. Those can be found on my other channel. It's just called Gibi's Good Idea, Bad Idea. This channel will remain completely focused on Chris Chan. The main thing that's changed in the last year since I made my 5-year anniversary update is that I'm gonna have a lot more time to make videos on this and all of my channels. I have a horror-themed channel, I have my normal Absurds channel, I even have a podcast now. It's called Slappindippity. You can always follow me on Twitter, GiBi_Devin, for nonsense and, things you're supposed to use Twitter for. But this channel is going to be getting a lot more videos. I've been making breakdowns of Chris's live streams over the last couple months, and I really do want to get more into those weekly or maybe monthly updates about what's going on currently in Chris's history. Recently, he was spotted in Finland, and I just didn't have the time in my schedule to make a video dedicated to that simple sentence. It's one sentence, Chris is in Finland, that's not a video. But going forward, I'll be able to have the time dedicated to making videos that actually offer insight into things like that. I can once again be the hub for breaking Chris Chan news stories as well as retrospectives about the past of Christory. I want to make longer form documentaries about certain eras. I want to go back all these years later and go through Sonichu again. Not just summarizing it like I do in my 5-hour Sonichu video, but actually analyzing it, critiquing it, treating it like art. That's a big project I want to do as soon as I have the time to do it. For the next couple months, I plan on putting out a lot of Chris Chan content that I've had on the back burner for the last year or two. This project you might have noticed I'm doing, where I'm putting up covers of Chris Chan songs using an AI to make it sound like Chris is singing, is one of the most fun I've had doing anything Chris Chan related in a long time. There's going to be a capstone to that project that I hope you guys enjoy, even though it might take a little while to come out. I have a lot of Chris Chan songs to go through. 1 year from now, when I make the 7-year anniversary update video for this channel, I hope to look back on this last year and see a consistent upload schedule. Lots of new breaking news. Videos, maybe going over his entire time in jail. I have a 2-part series about Chris's entire history. Part 1 is everything up to the arrest. Part 2 is the arrest. And I'd like to have a video about things that happened while he was in jail and post-arrest. I'd like to make that a trilogy, with more to come in the future. I'd like to go back over Sonichu. I'd like to make a video about Moon Pals and Asperchu. There are so much things to talk about in this 20-year-long lore-filled history of Chris Chan that's not just the same troll sagas over and over and just restating them, reading quickie articles. And that's always been on the back burner because I've been working a full-time 50-hour-a-week job for the last few years. I've said it other places on the internet, but now I'm going to make the official statement that I have, in fact, left that job, and I'm now doing YouTube full-time. That means there's going to be a lot more content from me across all of my channels. If you want to support me, and I always say this, but as long as you're over 18 and do not have student loans, you can support me on Patreon, or even with channel memberships. Super chats and all that other fun stuff that you can do on YouTube. YouTube is a career that I love having, and I love getting support from people. Both just watching and sharing and liking videos, but also with donations, because that's how a lot of people like to interact with their favorite YouTubers. They like showing that support. It gives a feeling of fulfillment. I just personally think that some YouTubers go a little too far sometimes. I wouldn't have made this career move if I was starving, let's put it that way. I also have a merch store, it's going to be linked in the description. I've been very unhappy with Teespring over the last few years, so I've switched over to a new storefront. Hopefully the quality will be a lot better. That storefront shares its merch with my other channels, so you're going to see some other themed stuff on there, but I do have Chris Chan and this specific channel merchandise up there if you want to support the channel that way. So this is just my yearly check-in. This is my promise on what's going to be coming, and this is my affirmation that I'm here, I'm not going anywhere, and there's a lot of things to come. Please be nice to each other in the comments, consider supporting the creators you admire, and never lose sight of the things that are most important to you. I've been GiBi. Thank you for watching The Lore Cattle Ranch.